Hello everyone and welcome again to my channel. Thank you for joining me today for a special mission. We'll be playing Karazhan adventure in heroic mode, and we will be fighting against one particular boss that is highly annoying, and it wrecks my nerves every time when I play against him. I actually managed to beat him, so I will present you the deck that I used to beat him that one time finally, and I hope it will work once more, because it worked once, why not again? And of course the opponent I'll be having a duel with is Silverware Golem, the spiceful Silverware Golem creature. And while we are on the subject of dishes, I wanted to share a few information with you about dishes. What exactly are dishes? Well, first of all, those are spoon, fork, knife, and of course the other members of that happy alliance. Dishes, cups, pitchers, teapots, mugs, and so on, so on. A lot of them actually, and I'll be fighting most of them in this attempt. The materials the cutlery and the dishes are made of are various. They could be made of wood, of clay, of glass, of metal, of stone, of paper, of plastic. Basically, most of the material you can imagine. There are also hybrid cutlery forms such as spork, knork, spife, and sporf. That sounds like they were made by the Merlins. And here's a brief history of Holy Trinity: knife, spoons, and fork. The knives were used since the beginning of time. They were first made of stone. When civilization appeared, they started making them of metal, first of copper and bronze, and then the material used for making knives was iron and steel. In the medieval, everyone used to carry his own knife if they wanted to have a meal together. Basically, they use that knives to share a meal or to slaughter each other if they don't like each other. And only men used to carry knives, and if they would go with their loved one, their sweet lady, they were obligated to cut a piece of food, probably meat, for their loved ones. So if you were a medieval gentleman, you could easily say to your loved one, if you don't like her behavior, "Silence, woman, or I won't cut you a slice of that tasty venison you were desiring all night." Anyway, the role of the knife was dual during the medieval times, so you could slice the part of meat on supper, or you can just stab your adversary or your guest. But it all ended in the 17th century when King Louis XIV of France,
I'm sexy and I know it,
forbid the pointy-edged knife in his kingdom, because he didn't want people to cut each other anymore. And that ended that interesting era of pointy-tipped knives. Spoons were also used in ancient times. In ancient Greece, they used to make them of seashells. Ancient Rome, they were carved out of wood, and Egyptians used to make them with gold and other precious metals. The Egyptians were so fancy. And the most interesting part of that Holy Trinity is the fork. Fork was first mentioned in the 11th century when a noble princess, princess is obviously noble, there is no noble princess, is there? Anyway, a princess from Byzantine Empire brought a fork to a wedding party in Italy, and everyone were so fascinated. They were all, "Wow, that thing's amazing." And in the western part of the Europe, in the medieval times, forks were not seen until the 14th century, when Catherine de' Medici brought a folk with her to France when she married some French dude, and they became quite a hit in France. Everybody wanted to have a fork, so it got spread throughout France thanks for Catherine de' Medici. The name fork was derived from Latin word furca, that means a pitchfork. So if you don't have a fork, you could easily use a pitchfork. And in the US and Britain, the using of forks and knives was considered unmanly, so macho dudes over there avoided using these feminine things. And the fork, as we know it, the modern fork, was created in Germany in 18th century. So thank you, Germany, danke Deutschland, for giving us such a nice addition to the tableware. If you are fascinated by the cutlery as I apparently am, you should visit some of the museums dedicated to these things. One of them is in Nitva in Russia, in Permkrai. В Нитве находится музей ложек. So if you like spoons as much as I do, you should visit the Spoon Museum in Nitva, Russia in Siberia. So it's not very far away. And if you like knives, you should visit a cutlery museum in Thiers in France. And for the pottery, there are also a lot of plates, various shapes and sizes, then teacups and various pitchers and the rest of things. There are also teapots.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout.
And a lot of other stuff that I can't remember right now. And the most famous cutlery production places in Europe throughout the centuries were Sheffield in the UK, Caldelas in Portugal, Albacete and Toledo in Spain, Cremana in Italy, Solingen in Deutschland, and Thiers, we already mentioned Thiers, in France. So these are the places famous worldwide and famous across the Europe for their cutlery manufacturing. Well, enough of the cutlery, time to destroy the Silverware Golem. And he's the first boss in the parlor area.
Without Medivh, the tower is out of control.
And here we go. And I will use specially designed deck for this boss. I called him properly the Dish Doom, or just Dish Doom, and he was my winning deck against this boss. So Dish Doom, go and doom these dishes.
Garrosh versus the Pantry! Melting is fun!
Victory or death!
Okay, let's beat this golem. But hardly discards.
The silverware is working together.
We're surrounded! Set the fire! Forward!
Oops, I broke a diamond.
See what will happen next. Here comes the cup. little bit more.
Nice to meet you!
There we go. A knife. How about I do this? Should I or should I not do that? I should. And he will play the next move. I'm almost certain of it. That's strange. Hey dude, you are boring me right now.
En passant!
Don't wait for your next move.
Forward!
And there is a fork.
Forward!
There are two forks. Don't you worry about a thing, because I have this. Can't be serious, dude. Okay, the situation is getting out of
Need a drink?
control.
Need a drink?
Whoa, cool. Need to get rid of them fast. I will do that with this. Maybe. No, I will do this. Oh, I won't. I will do this. No, I will.
I cannot do that.
This.
En passant!
Alright, my turn. So there are two cups on the field, and he killed
I need a drink?
Oh, this is not bad, is it? No, it's not. Actually, it's
I
not,
live to serve the Lich King.
because I can do this. Then I can do this. Well, on my turn, so I'm still in the game, miraculously, and he is still
Nice to
a
meet you!
lone creature.
Forward!
Oh, fuck. He has like enormous armor. And, well, not that sort. Well, I can play this.
By his will.
Still need to kill.
I can wait no longer. Taste my
Yes.
blade.
Because as long as the fork is on the field, the blades can
I'm feeling
attack me a creature.
Get your fun of things here.
That won't help you, my friend. That won't help you. Because right now, what am I going to do? I'm going to do this.
By his will.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then I am going to do well this or not. I'll do this.
I see lunch now. Dinner.
Oh, just great. Just great. Just what you need. Plus 1 attack. Well, it doesn't matter. Really, because he will attack. One way or another.
Need a drink?
There goes the cup.
Need a drink?
There goes another cup. Bunch of cups there. And this might be the way to victory. Whoa. He will try to... Okay. Right. The smartest guy in the town, aren't you? And what I might do, I might do this. One down. That was a mistake.
I still.
By his will.
I've done my turn because I don't have much option.
Get your funnel cakes
And
here.
he's a freshman, and they're just help me in getting some break out of it. Okay, okay.
I cannot
Whoa.
do that.
Sure you can.
Dark path is my destiny.
Yes. Then I'll
I cannot give that minion a turn to get ready.
Like to play with fire?
No, do you? Just kill those like. And then
His will.
why not keep that right there? And then my turn. And some more plates.
Need a drink?
Oh, a cup is another. Okay, okay, he's getting out of cards and he just pulled a knife.
Nice to meet you.
And you can't be serious. This is not what I need. But
I
must
have
play
an
whatever
axe to
I want in the store. Will
For the master.
continue that he has only 2 cards left, and I have plenty more, so
Nice to meet you.
this is nice. Let's go. So I need something really fast. And he's out of cards. I need something really fast to clear the field if I want to win this game. And this actually could help me win the game. Oh, what a magnificent piece.
Job done.
Okay. Goodbye. You have only 1 card left, and I still got my. Oh, okay, good, but he can't attack right now, so I'll survive. And I just got what I
hot just like you love me.
to win this game. Scourge Lord Garrosh is on the field.
I will burn this world and rule its ashes.
And now, lethal. Okay. Lethal.
Before me.
Kill the plate. And That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to win this game. Am I? Here goes my plates. The sweet sound of victory is just that. Say your prayers, you golem wretch! I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll do this. And now all I need to do is wait for his life point to melt down. We'll do this. And then we'll do this. And then I will summon Ceremony Jenkins. So, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it is possible to win the game against Silverware Golem in heroic mode, but you need a serious...
Free me!
A serious... Build the block. So now the fatigue will cripple him badly, and all he got left are the plates. Now, why not? It's totally equal to me because your plates are empty, dude. Your plates are gone. So what you gonna do now? Oh, wondrously enough, here comes the... Oh, I will summon him. Why not?
Warriors of the frozen wastes, rise.
Hey there!
Free me! Free me!
So, this is it. This is it, my friend. Next turn will be final, and the victory is singing loudly. I waited for this moment for so long! The dishes are done! Finally! So... Now, well deserved!
What a mess.
It's not a mess, it's absolutely wonderful. Well deserved the victory dance, people! So that was it. This game was absolutely amazing, and the Silverware menace was trampled. So thank you for joining me in this epic duel, and we'll be seeing each other again with some new worthy opponents. Have fun, have a nice day, and see you again some other time. Bye bye.